What's happening, people? Welcome to episode 3 of whatever the hell this will be called in the end. So, moving on, and we also have a new guest. So, do you want to introduce yourself to the people? However you choose to do that.
Yes, hello.
All right then. So,
That's worse than me. I said hello.
Hello, yeah, hello.
Who are you?
Well, my name is Daniel.
beautiful.
But also Willo.
And no, this is good. This is good.
Yeah.
You can get this. But who are you? Like, what is you?
Me, I'm a man from I'm from London. But I travelled down. I travelled.
And where have you escaped from today?
I've
Where
escaped.
should you be?
Have you escaped from LA or New York?
No, this time I've escaped from Leicester.
Nice. The trilogy is complete.
Yeah. So it was a big issue trying to get here.
I feel like I know less about Willow than before. Like,
Yeah. So there was like a lot of issues to get here, but I made it now.
He made it. He
So,
got
yeah.
over the barbed wire, through the fences, and he's here.
The choppers are chasing me. But I did
No,
it, yeah. But yeah.
Luckily, this is just audio.
Yeah.
So anyway, they won't see your
Alright.
face. Okay.
Yeah,
So
Good.
the next question in this short series about kind of promoting happiness and stuff, or trying to manifest your happiness, is what can I learn from this? And that kind of sums up, in a nutshell, that's referring to whatever situation you're in, whatever circumstance you're in. What can you take out of that circumstance or that situation to improve your happiness, to improve your environment, to improve whatever the situation is?
Okay.
I think they are actually chasing you. I can hear them.
Yeah, you see?
All right, but anyway, let's be quick and then you can.
This one here, look.
Let,
You can see the chopper in the background.
let's be quick and then you can move on
Alright,
to your hiding
this
spot.
is a quick one.
All right, so yeah,
Before they
so
track this
what can I
message.
learn from this? So you know, even if something went good, if something.
See? Again, right?
Just to prove that the UK government is not playing when they say you're on
What's
lockdown.
that red dot on the back of your head?
Yeah, there's a red dot, mate. You might wanna just hide down.
Yeah, it's like
You know what I'm saying? Get under the table, man.
there's a helicopter behind me. Really. But anyway, let's carry on.
And we
Let's
will
stay
we will
focused.
strive to improve our happiness regardless of Willow being chased by the police.
We're here
for
we're
escaping
safe
from
in
Leicester.
Vernon's house.
No one.
So we're alright.
During
No
lockdown.
one's gonna come in, so we're good.
Oh, okay, that's great. They've gone.
Just
Right.
like that, it's over here.
So whatever situation you're in,
It's good, isn't it? That made my point.
absolutely.
Yeah, so it's good. Go on.
What's the question again?
What's
What
the
can
question?
I learn from this? Whatever situation you're in, what can you take from it? Even if something went well, you know, like, you know, how can I try and reproduce that? I did something, it went well. You know, what do I need to do to try and maintain that momentum, or you know, move on to the next stage, or whatever it is? So whoever wants to chime in, go for it. What in fact, let me rephrase it like this: what situation do you feel you learned the most from so far in your life? Could be anything in your life so far. Could be relationships, could be, you know, academic, it could be work, it could be whatever. Traveling. What situation do you feel like, you know, you kind of learned the most so far?
Okay.
And you go as deep as you want to go. Do you know what I mean? You reveal whatever you want
Big
to,
question.
information you
Yeah.
want to reveal about yourself and etc.
I need to think about it.
I think I'd say that I've been working for like 2 or 3 years since uni, like doing different jobs, and I've learned that I feel like nobody truly knows what they're doing. Even my bosses, like they sort of just they say things with a confidence enough to give you confidence, or they might let you in on it, like they don't know what you're doing, but because you know they're truthful with you, you're sort of like, fuck it, we can do this together.
So what did you?
Does that put you at ease?
It puts you at ease because you're just like,
I don't know.
I can't do any worse than like the people who are way above me, because I'm trying to do my best and they're trying to do their best.
I think that, to add to that, I think that kind of relates to just being an adult. I think, you know, when you're a child, you assume that most adults know most things.
Yeah.
as you become an adult yourself, you realize that no, that's not actually the case.
Nobody knows.
No one knows shit.
No one knows. Shit.
For me, I've always described life as like one long improvisation.
Yeah.
You know, we're all kind of making it up as we go along to some degree.
Everyone's trying to keep the ducks in a line,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard to keep a duck in a line. Have you ever
it can
tried
be.
to chase a duck? It's fucking hard, man.
Definitely, because I don't like getting wet.
Yeah, it's hard.
So-
So like, they try and walk, and then say you're walking, and you've got 6 ducklings ahead of you, all in a straight line.
Yeah.
It's impossible. Think
No,
about it.
I could catch a duckling.
No, maybe a duckling.
But
A
if
duck.
you said, all right, I'm walking forward, 7 of you ducks are gonna walk in a straight line, and we're going from here to the end of Vernon's Road, and have them all walk perfectly in a line.
Don't they do that?
No, never. One will be in the fucking road, one will get run over,
They get blown
one
around.
will be in the garden somewhere. It will be impossible. So all you can do is try to keep him as good as you can.
You might
like
get
that.
caught. You might
I like
get
that.
caught.
Yeah,
That's nature, though. Survival.
yeah. But life's like that. as
But do
well.
you achieve your greatest moment of happiness
No.
when you get those ducks lined?
Grabbing them
Do you know
little
what I mean?
ducks in your hand, looking in their little eyes. That's the beauty of life.
Yeah.
No. I think you got a point with that. I think it's the journey.
Yeah.
It doesn't. The goal is something for you to aim for, but the journey to that goal is what gives you the happiness.
Yeah.
But
The
it
tr-
takes
the-
the
the mission.
metaphorical ducks, and we're talking about metaphorical.
Yeah.
If you got
Just
to
to
the end of your-
clarify.
if you got to the end of your journey and you'd lost all of them, you wouldn't say that was a good journey.
I think it depends. I think you
Yeah.
might have learned. It depends how much you've learned
that's true.
from that process. Then
You got to step
If
You know what I
up,
mean?
get a whole
after
set of
that,
new ducks.
you lost all 7 ducks or whatever it was, and then you tried it again, and then because of the lessons you learned, you saved another 7 ducks. Then you might be like happy with yourself.
Brutal.
It's
Yeah.
brutal. It is
but that is
brutal,
part of
but
life. You know,
it's life.
brutal things do happen.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, man.
and especially the point that we just
Yeah.
made that no one
Yeah.
really truly knows exactly what they're doing. You know, 24/7. So I think it stands to reason that you're going to make mistakes. So you're going to lose some ducks, some metaphorical ducks. Yeah, you're going to lose some of them.
What, real duck?
But the skills that you're gaining from that process is what you then use to try and achieve, you know, your ultimate thing you want to achieve.
Yeah.
You know.
Coming in on Dylan's confidence point, that helicopter's back.
Looks like London might be next, but anyway.
But I'm going to speak a bit louder
Yeah.
because of the background.
Yeah,
But
helicopter on the right.
Dylan spoke about back confidence and how much you believe and how much you can get other people to believe what you're saying. And I think it goes back to the concept of it's how mammals are raised. Us as monkeys, are raised. We're basically chimps, right? We're basically primitives, and we can't communicate with our parents till we're about on a level until about 5. You might be able to speak at 3 or whatever, but you don't understand where your parents are coming from. They're unknowable. They're capricious. You feel like everything's about you, but obviously you don't understand the lives they live. And then you extrapolate from that. That's why we have an unknowable God. That's why we have someone in the sky looking down on us like we're in the cradle. We don't understand what the point is, what they're meaning, why we're here. And all we want from that God is confidence that they're looking out for us. And that's what every human being looks for.
Yeah.
In any dynamic, they want to know there's someone who's got the fucking answer. And what I'm saying is, my point is about this is learning that we want to feel like someone else has the answer so we can follow them. But obviously, when you get to the deep, dark truth of it, Big Bang stuff, no one knows.
Anyone else? Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I think not knowing. I think you just got to kind of. It's true. We don't know nothing. I think we know a lot, but we don't know as much as we do. And even if we do know everything we think we know, we still don't really know, because anything that however it's been made, who's to say that we're that intelligent that we'd ever fucking know? So you just got to kind of just do best you can do, I guess. Isn't it?
Yeah, because if there is a God, I think they'd be laughing at us. I don't think they'd be like, I got your back. I think they'd be like, you guys are funny, man. Like, you don't see the whole picture. You're worried about your biological existence.
They're just playing a game of Sims at the end of the day. If there was a God, they're just like, put some people here, put some people here, let's see what
Let
happens.
it play out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But things, yeah.
Any thoughts, John?
It's just making me think of Jason and the Argonauts with the chessboard now.
The chessboard.
yes,
Forget
yes,
the chessboard. What's the
yes.
chessboard?
Yeah, just
In-
in Jason and the Argonauts, they just moving.
Because it was the Greek
Yeah,
gods in
yeah.
it, and they were just
You see how it ended
controlling
as
people's
well, it
lives by
ended
playing
like-
chess
End of the
with
day.
people.
But in the end, it was about trying to defy that board and mangle their game. So if you believe in that,
Not
you
that
also
I'm.
got to
Not
understand
that I'm.
that
Yeah, if you
might
believe in
push
Zeus.
against-
I don't really.
Not that I'm sore,
Well, I
John.
like-
Zeus.
I
No,
believe
no,
as
no,
well,
no.
to
Not
be
that I'm
honest.
sore, John. But
Yeah,
I
go
said
on.
I was going to bring in Jason the Argonauts, and you've just taken that away from me, man.
Yeah.
And I know
Oh yeah,
maybe
your
not-
Hydra argument.
Yeah.
Same.
What is your Hydra?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
Oh,
now.
that's a
Like,
shame.
I thought
You've teased
it was
the
gonna be my-
people now.
It was going to be my
The
classical
people
reference.
you've teased them.
No,
If
Hydra.
I'm listening to this, I want to know what the
very
Hydra
simple
concept
point. The
is.
very simple point. It sounds rubbish after the great stuff John said about Jason Argonauts. It's just that it's not about getting the golden fleece. It's about all the shit that happens on the way, like the ducklings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah. To be honest, when you said ducklings, I imagined them as my children, and I was like, if I lose fucking 7 children, there's no way back. I'm not. It's not a case. It's not a case. Of, I learned so much from losing those. 7 kids.
Yeah,
And I'll have 7 more.
Yeah, that's
and
the
I'm doing
point.
it right.
You got
But
your ducks.
Well, I
That's
think
the good
culturally,
point.
some people
I
kind
do
of
think
like.
some people have had to
That's
go
it.
through that
That's
journey.
it.
No, like
one
for-
duck might be your fucking house, or like,
Yeah,
one might be your job, one might be your
Your
relationship,
wife,
one might
etc.
be just whatever, like your state of mind or whatever.
Or your
Like,
status.
Yeah,
You have to, like,
how you
tag
feel about
labels on
yourself.
them.
Yeah, because if that one goes that way, so you got to drag that back.
I heard a good theory from my friend Yannick, right? And he said, I know he got it from someone else, but there's 3 things in life that matter. One is your work, what you do, and 2 is like your friends, and 3 is like your romantic relationship. And if you get one of that 3 good, like you've sorted it, then you're okay. If you get 2 out of 3, you're doing really well. If you get 3 out of 3, you have won the lottery.
Yeah.
Like no matter how rich you are, what job you do, whatever. If you're happy with all 3 of those things, you have won the game for that moment. That's his thing.
Agree.
But I also think, well, just adding on to that I think we ultimately reflect. I think it's that thing of that moment of death. You know, that whole thing about your life flashing before your eyes. And like, there for me is where you will know how much you've actually learned in this life or not.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Yeah. So it's a constant kind of, we're just in it. We're in our lives. We're, every day you wake up, you're trying to do whatever you're trying to do. Get the roof over your head, or keep the roof over your head, or get a better job, or whatever you're chasing, or, to find a relationship, etc., etc. Find friends, blah, blah, blah. But you don't know how much you've gained or not gained, or how much value you've added to your life or not, until that moment where it will flash, in front of your eyes.
I believe that. I believe we'll see everything. I don't think we're not going to see it. I think we'll see everything we've done.
At the end.
Yeah, I don't think it's just over. I think we'll see it.
Well, like in detail, everything you've done in your life.
Or there'll be some, I don't know how it'll be, but we'll see them little things that we did.
The most special moments.
Special,
Well,
or even the things we did bad.
Yeah, just
We'll see it.
your life, the goods,
I
the
reckon-
bad,
I reckon-
Character
the ups, the
building
downs.
Yeah,
Something.
like the little moments that like you didn't do something that you should have
things.
done.
You didn't think about it.
And
Yeah.
I might even argue that what potentially flashes before your eyes is the actual things that your brain held important.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because those are the kinds of memories that you want to take with you.
Hopefully we'll
Do you know what I
see
mean?
it in a different view because we'll be somewhere else. So we'll be able to even see it from a view like, this is what you did. This is like
From like a higher
you was
vantage
here.
point.
This is the role you played, and then this is it.
Oh, that'd be nice.
And then if it was good, hopefully we ain't done that bad.
Yeah. What you mean? Like there's a million different pathways, and you did okay. You could have gone on.
It's like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a rating when you
Sid
finish the game.
stats, innit? Sid
Yeah.
stats.
When you finish the game, you finished.
I
But
saw
until
an
that
episode of
moment-
Red Dwarf like that. You know, Red
Yeah,
Dwarf?
yeah,
The one
yeah,
where
yeah.
he meets the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
And the Inquisitor's got he's got like some stupid mask on his
Yeah.
face. You know the old Red Dwarf when they wore them stupid
You have
masks.
done nothing.
And it's like a Spectrum keyboard attached to his stomach. Like they made it like a shit. And he's like the guy's like laying in his bed.
Yeah.
He's got like some lotion next to his bed, and he's just lying there. And then he appears. Goes, you have done nothing for your whole life.
Yeah.
He goes, and then he replaces him with another guy who should have done more of his life.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think it'll be that extreme.
But I mean that's the ultimate. That's we're talking about just before you die and stuff.
Yeah.
Like let's
Yeah, I'm good.
let's bring it back
I'm
to
just-
let's bring it back to the micro,
Yeah.
and let's just as Lily say, every 24 hours there's an opportunity to learn something that you can carry forward into the next 24 hours of your life. Yeah. So you said about what you felt you've learned the most from at this moment in time is coming out of the world of academics. You went to school, you went to college, or you did your A levels, you went to uni.
Well, your teachers
etc.
are like, I think in academics, they know the answers. It's like you're either wrong or you're right.
Yeah.
Other than like there's a few subjects where like maybe you get to have your own opinion on things and you get graded. But most of the time, you're wrong or you're right, whether it's maths, science, whatever. But then you go into a work and you realise, no matter how scientific people are and how much they think they know things, they still fuck things up, and they still they still have to sometimes make judgment calls or things that they can never be 100% sure on. And if they get it wrong, they get it wrong, and if they get it right, they get it right. And that's most of your decisions you're never going to be 100% sure on. That's the truth.
When was the time that made that you realised that? From forever, or was it recently?
I think it's been constant since I got into work. I think I've worked in places where I see people who don't really care about what they're doing, and I do care about what I do. I love sport, and that's what I work in, and they're sort of here because they think it's an easy job. And whether it's the people above me, they've been here for a while, so they think they know more, or they whatever. But it's a situation where you never it's so difficult to know who's right. It's a moral decision.
Yeah, and I think in today's world where there's just such an abundance of information and access to it, knowing what's good information or what's the right information, what's incorrect,
exactly.
What's misinformation,
It's getting more
etc.
blurred now, isn't it?
Absolutely,
It's getting
absolutely.
more like what's right.
So you kind of have to trust your own instincts to some degree
And that's
more
so
and more.
hard to do. That's so hard to do when someone's more experienced than you, but sometimes you just got to do it.
I feel like one of the things I've learnt the most is that we're not taught the full range. We're not taught all of the right things in school to prepare us for adult life. True. So, and one of those main things that I always think about is things like taxes. What is paying? The fact that when I get a job, tax is going to be taken. You don't necessarily have that understanding or that concept when younger. Or even you're told, you should get a job so that you can buy a house and buy a car and etc. etc. But another thing that you're not taught about that I've learned about is maintenance of those things. It's all well and good that you buy the house, but then it has to be maintained over the period. Over the period of time, something might break. You might need to call a plumber. You might need to call an electrician, etc. You know what I mean? And you're not really. So I've learned that you're not really prepared for that aspect of life actually. In school, not fully. If you're lucky, you might have a good teacher that might, kind of tell you about those things or whatever. But for the most part, I don't.
As someone who's not at that stage of their life where they I know a lot of people aren't, where they can buy a house or anything. To me, the idea of buying a house seems like monopoly. It seems like you just buy that place, you buy that street or that apartment, and then it's just done. But it's not like that in reality, and there's so little information of that in school, at least. From the school I grew up in, and most of you guys grew up in the same school at a different time, but still.
But I don't think it's the priority of certain schools.
But it should be, because there's so much.
It should
there's
be.
so little
Yeah.
information you carry from school that you actually take into your adult life when you think about it.
But it's a business, isn't it? It's like a kind of, not business, but it's like certain places ain't really gonna do much. So they're not gonna try and tell people who it's like, this is your lot in life. Like, I've been to a lot of places in England, and some places they all like, say certain places in Derby, all they'll teach you is that when my brother went to school, all they taught him was the available lessons. There was bricklaying, there was, for girls it was hairdressing. There's like 4 subjects, that was it. That was in the 6th form. Because that area at that time, that's all that helped their economy or whatever, how everything runs, that's how it goes. So unless you're in a certain place, certain things don't really matter. You know, it's like there's a system of.
But even
certain
when
things.
there's like more subjects, and it's not just school, it's when you go out into college and uni. Like in art, you don't learn how to sell your work.
Yeah.
You don't learn
No.
how that's taxed.
No.
You don't learn how if you have to have a job and you do your art on the side, how that gets taxed. That's vital stuff.
Yeah.
None of it's taught.
No, that's all.
And in
for
fact,
you.
very little is taught,
Yeah.
and you pay a lot of money for this stuff.
Most of the people successful in it are people who sort of went a different way. Innit? It's like if you most.
It's kind of on the individual to research and work it out for themselves.
Yeah.
And it's like that's great, but not everyone's going to do that.
Yeah.
Like
If you-
right now in the UFC, these are the highest paid athletes. They're having a huge. One of them has set up a tax advice company because
Nice.
they can't work out their taxes because of the way
Yeah.
they operate. This is at the highest level,
Yeah.
and you feel like even a grounding at school
Yeah.
in that would begin to prepare you to at least ask those questions.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting a bit off topic. But yeah.
Yeah,
No. I think this is still quite relatable, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, I remember in this quote when I was doing my politics A level from a Conservative MP who was worried that we were educating people too much, that they would be so educated that when they got a shit job, all they'd do is gripe and groan.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't educate them. And it was like he said this in the House of Commons.
that's
Like he
it.
wanted to be heard
Yeah.
on this point. Now they'd hide that stuff because they wouldn't, like, because of Twitter and stuff like that. But it blew my mind.
Yeah.
And you look at America. The only way the Republican Party can get elected is with enough dumb people.
Yeah.
If they started educating
feed
people, they'd never win an election.
Yeah, that's how they run. That's their blood. Like you need people who are just willing to do that. If you give them these people too much information, then they'll be trying to do
Yeah.
this,
But-
and then that basic thing they need ain't gonna work.
But
So
I agree with that. But if you educate people to a certain extent, you could say that people become so educated that they're like, fuck all these politicians.
Yeah.
We could, all of us
Yeah.
know,
We can
all
create
of us
our own
are-
system
We're
as
so
well.
educated, we know we could do it our own way.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
So when it comes to that extent, then everybody's so almost informed that they have
But is that a good or bad thing?
good thing. I think it's definitely
For a
good thing.
species, it's a good
It's
thing.
good,
It's
yeah.
how you should work.
But
But, it's
it-
not how we work,
But
especially in the
I think,
individualistic society.
I think the more informed you are, the more likely, to some extent, you are to disagree with others. I'm not gonna lie, because I feel
Yeah.
like you feel like you got your own information, and if someone's like saying no, you're wrong, you're like, no, but I know this.
I loved what John said. Sorry, I was going to say I loved what John said about an individualistic society, because when you see the communists, like the Chinese, I know they're not really communists, but you know what I mean, like their top-down stuff, and the Soviets, they wanted everyone to be really clever, because although they make everyone really clever, they also brainwash them that they can't rebel.
Yeah, yeah,
So that if you're really
yeah.
clever, you're working for the government,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And everyone
Interesting.
adds together. Whereas here, the government doesn't want everyone working for them. They want to have their friends with the companies and the power, and they want to have lots of people who will not question this.
yeah, just because you're clever, don't mean
Yeah.
you're smart. Like, or you know, what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you can be clever, but
And that's the why we say street smart,
yeah,
because that's
Common
smartness.
sense.
yeah, that's.
But it has
what
no
you got.
currency if you're trying to get registered at companies'
And
house.
that's why the internet is funny and a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be used to further control,
Yeah.
but
it
it's a
gives
bit
so
it's
much-
out of control,
Yeah.
and it allows everyone to pick up these little snippets of information
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
and there that begin to like create different modes of thinking, and the problem is it's such a mess that at the moment it looks worse than ever. But the information is all there.
It's all
but
there.
it's so
They've
mixed in
given
with
us
everything that you just got a chaos playing.
There's
Yeah.
never been a time where we had so much information.
Look-
That's
look-
why everyone's like,
But
Yeah.
it is it's not black and white, because these kids coming through now have all this information.
Yeah.
It doesn't make them any smarter
No,
or
it
better.
don't.
It makes them more mangled.
yeah, because
than
it's too
ever.
much.
In
So
some
you give
ways,
someone
yes,
too
but
much.
then you also have some of those individuals who are more
But-
entrepreneurial,
Just like
who
you always
are
have.
more,
Just
you
like,
know.
Yeah, you've
just like
always
always
had that,
happens.
yeah.
Still.
Take
Yeah,
really
yeah.
successful drug dealers, right? Really, like the top, like they are
Like Al Capone or
fantastic
something.
businessmen,
Yeah,
right?
and they got like,
Right? And the question about whether they go legit is just if they can learn how to play by the rules before the law catches them for what their illegal business is, and it's a racing stuff. That's why every movie, Scarface, Sopranos, it's about how you can learn the rules of something that you don't understand,
Yeah.
but you're smart enough, and there's a clock against you.
yeah, how you
Other
can apply
people-
that, yeah.
They brought up with that knowledge. They don't even go to drugs. They just go, I'm going to set up a pop-up fucking restaurant stand,
Yeah.
and that will make as much money as a fucking
Exactly, yeah.
corner store. You know?
Yeah, because sometimes the best people are people who just got like it's like they're fighting with like one hand. You know,
Mm-mm-mm.
but they just know how to use that so good that it just gets them. Whereas
Exactly,
someone else
yeah.
might have like all the different techniques, but it don't get them nowhere. But like one right hook.
That's
Deontay
so
Wilder
well
got
put,
far,
man.
yeah.
It's so
Even though
well
he,
put.
he got embarrassed recently, but it took him far, innit? It's like,
True. All right. That's quite a good, decent amount of time. So we'll bring this one to an end for now. I think there's another one where we could definitely keep talking, and we might potentially do another episode on that topic of what can I learn from this? What can I take from whatever situation I'm in to into the following day to make the following day a better one. So thank you for tuning in, people. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. I'm joking.
yeah.
And we'll be back. We'll be back for the next. I'm not joking, but I am.
You're right,
I'm not
let's
joking
take
just because
episodes in, you
this
keep it.
is audio. I don't know if this is going to go on Spotify or something. I don't think it works like that. So anyway, we'll be back. Look after yourselves, and peace and love and peace.